Hello. So I just got cut off on this video, so I'm gonna try again and hopefully it doesn't do it this time. So I wanted to jump on and talk to you about intermittent fasting today. And what is intermittent fasting? Is it healthy? Who is it right for? And what are the side effects? And then at the end, I'll share with you my recommendations when it comes to fasting and what I do myself and what I usually recommend as a general rule. For most people it will change, and that's kind of like the whole purpose of this video, is to show you like intermittent fasting can be very beneficial, but it also can be detrimental depending on who you are and what your goals are and what your body type is. So yeah, at the end I'll kind of tell you what I recommend, and you can either do with that what you please, adopt it for yourself, try it out, not do anything, totally cool. But I wanted to share the information with you at least. So if you have tried intermittent fasting or are currently doing intermittent fasting, type a IF in the comments so I can know that you are familiar with it, and let me know what your thoughts are and what your experience is with it. Is it good for you? Do you have side effects? Does it not work for you? Let me know what your thoughts are. So fasting itself, not necessarily intermittent fasting, but fasting on its own is like considered to be one of the fountain of youth that we have available to us as humans, and also as just like I've read a lot of fasting books, and they talk about animals too, and it can be really helpful for animals. But today I'm talking about us as humans, so we'll stick to that topic. But there's a lot of benefits that you can get from fasting. Basically, fasting is just going a certain period of time without eating anything. You can have water. There's different kind of fasts, which I'll get into, but it's basically just like not eating. So what are the benefits that you can get from fasting? One, it can help you lose weight. Your two things. You are restricting your calories, so that will help you lose weight. But two, you're also expanding the amount of time between meals, so your body has more time to kind of go in and burn the fat and take care of like maintenance kind of a little bit. So when you're not eating all the time, it's able to clean up house. So you can lose weight. You can gain energy. I think 30% of your energy is used for digestion throughout your day. So if you're eating less part of your day, then you're able to use that energy that you would have used for digestion at that time on other things. So lose weight, gain energy. It promotes longevity, improves memory and brain function, reduces insulin resistance, lowers your cholesterol, and this is a really important one, it promotes cellular repair and autophagy. So what's autophagy? It is when your body basically goes in and consumes defective tissues, cancer cells, toxins, anything that doesn't belong, that shouldn't be there. It will go in, and think of it like a little Pac-Man guy. Like you aren't eating, so your body has time to go in and do maintenance. So the Pac-Man guy goes in and just gobbles up everything that shouldn't be there. Anything that it doesn't want, just gobbles it up. So that's really cool. So one analogy I like to use to describe autophagy, and I talk about this a lot when I talk about detoxing because they kind of go hand in hand, but it's basically like when you're really busy, like picture yourself really busy at work. So you're getting all this stuff thrown at you that you have to do. Anything that you don't have to do like that day or anytime soon usually gets pushed off to the side when you don't have time to do anything. It just gets pushed off. But more and more stuff is coming at you. So you keep putting it off to the side. And only when you have a break in your work that's getting thrown at you do you have time to kind of turn over here and be like, okay, I can finally take care of all this stuff. And then you take care of it and you get it off your desk. So that's kind of what happens with autophagy. Basically, when you're eating, every day we're exposed to chemicals and everything like that. But even if you're not, like just when you're eating, our bodies produce waste. You can have the healthiest diet ever. You're still not going to utilize all of that food. You're going to produce waste. So that is something that needs to be cleaned out of your system, along with any toxins coming in, like pesticides on your food. Chlorine that's in your tap water, any toxins that are coming in through your beauty products or cleaners, anything like that. So your body has to deal with that. But the problem is when we're continuously eating and putting all of this input into our bodies, it doesn't always have the opportunity to take care of it as it comes in. It's too much. So what your body does is it takes the extra toxins that it can't take care of, and it stores it in your muscle cells or your tissue, your fat tissues, or anything that it can get out of your bloodstream. If it stays in your bloodstream, it's very harmful. So your body knows we have to get it out of the bloodstream and store it in a safe place where you can come back to it and deal with it later when you have the time. So very similar to the analogy. And then when you stop eating and go into fasting, you're not having all this input come in that you have to process. So you can finally go back into those storage places and grab the things, process them, and get them out of your body. So super important, because if we don't do that, then they'll just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, and it causes a lot of problems down the road. You'll first start to see lower energy, maybe some skin issues come up, digestive issues, things like that, smaller things that aren't really disease, but eventually they will manifest themselves into larger things that are going to be an issue. So it's very important. So what are the different kinds of fasting that we have available to us? There are several. There's lots. There's dry fasting, which is basically no water, no food. It's not very popular. You can do it, but it's there. Like, I don't suggest it. There's water fasting, and that's where you can go for like days with just drinking water, but no food. And that's much healthier. You can typically go a lot longer, like 20 days or a little more if you wanted to. Don't suggest it, but like that's water fasting. And then there's juice fasting, where you drink vegetable juice or fruit juices or any kind of liquid for a few days, but no solid food. So that still puts you in a fasting state. Then there's intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is basically where you shorten the window of time that you eat food throughout your day. So there's several different kinds. One is the 5-2 method. So 5-2 method is you eat basically normally for 5 days, like probably during your week, you eat normally. And then on the weekends, you restrict your calories to 500 or less. So you're eating normally during the week, but 2 days of the week, you're going to restrict it. And then, yeah, so it's just like normal for 5 days, restricted for 2. So some people do that. Other people, which is the most popular one, do the 16-8 method. So you are extending your window. So instead of not eating just while you're sleeping, you extend it to 16 hours. So you can go from like 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day of not eating. So you usually only eat like 2 meals a day, lunch and dinner. Or you can still do 3 meals a day, but you're still eating them between 12 and 8 or 11 and 7. And some people do it differently. You can do it every day. You can do it a couple times per week, every other day. But it's definitely the most popular form in some way or another. The other form that some people do is definitely not as popular is doing 1 meal a day. So basically you just fast the whole day until dinner, and then you just like overload your calories in 1 meal, like all your calories at once, 1 meal, just go for it. That I definitely don't recommend. It can get you results in the short term, depending on what you're looking for, but it's not going to get you healthy results. So that's my opinion. But anyways, that's another one. So for the rest of the video, I'll mostly be talking about 16-8 method. So when you skip breakfast. So it can be very helpful, and a lot of people have found it to be very helpful, whether they're trying to lose weight, gain more energy, be healthier in general. It can be helpful, but there are side effects and that you need to be aware of if you're going to try this out or are doing it currently. And I will say men can handle intermittent fasting much better than women can. So if you're a female watching this video, you want to pay attention to the side effects that I'm going to talk about and really listen to your body as you're going through intermittent fasting, because if any of these things start to occur, you need to adjust. So basically, like I said, I'm going to be talking about 16-8 method. So it's more going to apply for that, but the other methods it will still apply to, just a little bit differently. So like I said, the men handle it better than women. So Nathan usually does intermittent fasting. I think he's doing it, he'll either start at 10 or 11 right now. So he doesn't eat until 10 or 11. Then he stops eating whenever we eat dinner, which is usually like 7 or something. So it's a little bit shorter than 16-8, but he's still doing the intermittent fasting. That totally works for him, and he's totally fine with that. However, when I do it, and I skip breakfast every day, then I start to get negative side effects within a week, like very quickly. So it does not work for me. So just keep that in mind. So basically when you're fasting or intermittent fasting, especially if it's causing you to lower your calories, it can tell your body that you're in a survival-based state, which basically tells your body that like there's not enough food in this environment wherever I am. There's not enough food to sustain us, so I can't eat what I need to eat on a daily basis, or as often as I need to eat on a daily basis. So over time, that can signal to your body that, like, okay, there's not enough food. I'm having problems surviving. You're really not, but like your body doesn't know that. And then it will signal to like your systems that this is not safe to bring a child into the world. And so then, because you're in a survival-based state, your reproductive system is not important, like to keep you alive. So your hormones are going to start shutting down. Maybe not completely, but it will disrupt your hormones and they will be out of balance. And it will cause a lot of problems when your hormones are out of balance. Like, it can cause so many things, like mood swings all the way to like weight gain, like a ton of different issues. Everything that is related to hormone disruption can occur with intermittent fasting if you're not paying attention to your body and doing it the way that's best for you. So if you're having, like, if you're currently dealing with fertility issues, you can look at this not necessarily as intermittent fasting, but also like look at, are you telling yourself that you're in a survival based state with like an overload of toxins or lack of nutrients? Like, if you're eating a lot normally but you're not getting the vitamins and minerals you need, you can still signal to your body that this is a survival based state. So things like that, make sure that you're really just getting what you need, and that can alone just start helping with fertility issues too. So, and over time with this stuff happening, like a couple months, if you stick to it and these things are happening, you don't notice them, or you just keep thinking they're related to something else, you can actually start to miss your period. Like, it will affect you that much, you'll just stop having your period. If that happens, like, you need to stop and go back, because that's not healthy. So those are like the female related ones. Other than that, it can cause you to become unable to recover from workouts as well. So if you're working out while you're intermittent fasting and you find yourself like being sore longer than normal, or like just not having the energy because of your workouts, then it might be a signal that your body would be better off eating breakfast. So just pay attention to that. And then intermittent fasting is usually used to lose weight, but over time it could slow down your digestive system, and then it will ultimately make you gain weight. So that's something to keep in mind too. So these side effects so intermittent fasting is best to do when you're not stressed out. So these side effects will start to occur more if you're intermittent fasting and stressed out. So you're starting your day by like rushing around, going to work, having all this stuff thrown at you, doing all this stuff. Like, that's going to put you in a fight or flight response anyways, and a bunch of stuff happens in your body. But basically, the point of intermittent fasting is that you go a little bit into ketosis, like you're burning fat. That's the whole point. But when you're stressed out, like, that doesn't happen. There's cortisol is released, there's a bunch of reactions that happens, but basically your body's burning glucose for fuel anyways, whether you're eating or not. So if you're starting your day stressed out, like, and you're thinking that you're doing intermittent fasting and you can continue to burn fat cells during that time, it's not going to happen. You're changing everything into glucose anyways. You're not even going to get the results that you think you're getting. So you might as well just like start your day with breakfast, which I'll tell you what breakfast to start with. But if you're not stressed out, like on a weekend, and you're really just waking up and just relaxing and not like going into overdrive, then intermittent fasting can be really beneficial. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, do it on the days where you're not busy, and you'll get the most benefit. So what do I usually recommend? So for fasting, intermittent fasting is still intermittent fasting if you do it overnight. So what I recommend for mostly like 99% of people is to do a 12-hour fast overnight. So stop eating dinner like 6 or 7, whatever time you stop eating dinner, and then go 12 hours. So if you stop at 7, you can't eat breakfast until 7. If you stop eating dinner at 8, you can't eat breakfast until 8, or whatever 12 hours is. And now you can extend that, and I extend it actually to like 13 hours, sometimes like usually 13, but you don't like basically just try to get at least 12 hours in overnight. And that's going to do like all the benefits that I told you about fasting, it will do all of them while you're sleeping and during that time between eating, and that's really all that you need. So, well, on a daily basis. On a daily basis. I want to make that clear. So, what I personally choose to do, and once you're healthy and your body is balanced, you can also experiment with this yourself. I do a weekly 24-hour fast. So usually on Mondays, I will not eat breakfast or lunch actually. So I'll eat dinner Sunday night and then I fast until dinner on Monday. Now, that does not affect me as negatively. It doesn't really affect me because it's not every day. Like it's one day a week. So I'm not doing it consecutively. So I've actually gotten really good results with that with myself and other people as well. So once a week, I personally choose Mondays, whatever day you want. You can try that out and just see how you feel. And then I also do a 3-day fast every quarter, like every 3 months, but that's wrapped into my detox that I do. So I do the 7-day detox every quarter. And a part of that detox, you start with 2 shake fasting days. And then you go, it's not a full 3 days. It's 2.5 days. So you would start, you would eat, say you're starting it on Monday. So you would eat dinner Sunday. And then you'll have shakes so it's not total detox, not like a water detox, because you're getting your shakes. So you're getting all the vitamins and the minerals and the like nutrients that you need. You're just not taking in any calories. And so you would have the shake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday and Tuesday. So by Tuesday at dinner, that's 2 full days. But then you will go till lunch on Wednesday because the breakfast is always a shake. So it's like 2 days, 2 3/4 of another day. So it's basically 3 days. So that gets me 3 days of no solid food, no real calories. So that's just a really good time for my body to be able to go in and just clean up house. So, and then you're getting the shakes. So I personally, I don't necessarily recommend this if you are struggling with any kind of, like, if your body is not at optimal health, or I'm not really at optimal, I'm working on it every day, but if you're not healthy, don't do this. But occasionally, I don't do the shakes, and I will actually do a 3-day, 2 3/4 day water fast, and I won't do the vitamins and minerals, and I'll just let my body fast. And it actually works well. But I don't, like I said, I only recommend that if you're very healthy, and even then I would probably work with someone while you do that for the first time. But so that's what I recommend for the general person, is doing a 12-hour overnight fast every day. If you choose to do a 24-hour fast once a week, and then a 3-day fast every quarter as part of our 7-day detox. And that will just make sure that you're getting everything that you need, but you're also getting the chance to get the benefits of fasting. So I want to know, what questions do you have about intermittent fasting? And I'm going to come answer them. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? Do you do it? Have you found benefit? And if you haven't tried it or are wondering how to do it correctly, ask me any questions you have. And if you think that possibly a 7-day detox quarterly would be something that you could benefit from, drop detox in the comments and I'll send you the information for the one that I use. And if you're interested, I'll put this out there now. I don't know if people would be interested, but I'm thinking about getting a group together and going through the detox at the same time. It wouldn't cost anything extra, but just kind of like doing that support. So we can all do it at the same time as like a support group, and that would be really cool. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. And when I decide to do that, I will definitely let you know, and you can jump in on that. So yes. So drop your question about intermittent fasting below. Type IF in the comments if you've tried it or are currently doing it, and let me know what your thoughts are. And if you're interested in the 7-day detox that I do every quarter, type detox and I can send you the information on that. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a lot from the video, and I'm gonna go. Have a great night.